18.
Yeah, I believe it's 18.
Wow. It's 18. SportsSqwad is legal. We were talking, Kelven and I are here. Sometimes I do intros, sometimes I don't. It happens. You guys
How
know.
you feeling today?
Yeah. We were talking All-Stars today, All-Star games, voting, stuff like that. See what happens.
Yeah.
I think maybe the biggest, to kind of get it going, I think the biggest thing is, how do I phrase this? Like NHL or not NHL. Yeah, NHL, NBA, and NFL all have All-Star games that people think are pointless.
Yeah.
And then MLB actually has the home field advantage.
I thought they got rid of that.
Did they get rid of that?
I think so. I could be wrong though. You probably know more about basketball than baseball than I do. So
I don't think they got rid of it. Anyway, yeah. If they did, well,
yeah.
All right. So I think, is there a way to make All-Star games worth watching to still not like? I think the home field advantage for the World Series was maybe too much of a stake. Because it's the World Series.
Right, exactly.
You know, especially if you have a wild card team that makes it and they get home field over like 100-win team.
Right,
you know, like,
yeah.
How did that happen?
Yeah.
So I think that's a little too high, but I think like what makes the NFL and the NBA like almost unwatchable is that it's almost nothing.
Yeah.
It, you know, so
right.
I think there's maybe somewhere in the middle between having absolutely nothing at stake and having the World Series at stake.
Like put like some money on the line, like the winning team. I think that's like actually what the NBA did this past year. Is like they put like $100,000 like an incentive for the winning team. And I think the NBA is like inching towards the right idea of like making it more entertaining, because most times than not, it's like people are like watching it for, you know, the festivities prior to the actual game, you know, whether it's like the 3-point competition, the dunk competition, the skill champion, which is always great because like I think it's been a big man who's won it every single year.
Oh right,
yeah.
Joel Embiid cheated.
Yeah, but Embiid cheated this year.
Speaking of Embiid, do you see what he tweeted at Colin Cowherd last night?
About trust the process, is like about having like 40 wins or something like that.
You see what he called him though?
No, I didn't. I don't remember what he called him.
He called him Colin Coward because he bet. I don't know if you saw the bet. It was if the Sixers got 40 wins, he had to wear a jersey on air. And he was being like, it was obvious back and forth. But Colin was like, oh, I guess I gotta find a Sixers jersey in LA. Like, hopefully I can do that before the show tomorrow. Like, obviously just egging him on. And then Embiid called him Colin Coward. So I turned on the Herd today, first time in like 3.5 weeks, just for this reason.
Just for that reason.
And Christine Leahy was wearing her jersey. So Colin like brought up a medium, and he's like, they bought me a medium, and I'm a large, and this is like a kid's medium. Like, we need to find one. I was like, come on, man, just throw it on.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Do it for your first segment, take it off.
Right.
Like, if I turn on and you're not wearing it, you just lost credibility.
Even Stephen A. Smith wore a Dallas Cowboys jersey.
Yeah.
When he's lost a bet to Skip Bayless.
Anyway, back to All-Stars. Sorry, that was just a fun. Joel Embiid makes everything better. But yeah, well, do you know if it's the money for NBA is for players, or does it go to charity or something? Or
I think it's for the players, but I think the players usually end up opting to give it to a charity just because, I mean, what's an extra $100,000 to them when they're getting paid millions of dollars in guaranteed contracts? So, but yeah, I mean, and I think that's something that they just started doing this year because, you know, they're trying to change everything up, and I like going away from the traditional format of like East versus West and everything like that. I like the idea of the team captains. Yeah. I think the biggest thing that people were talking about was like wishing it was like the draft was televised this past year. I think that'll bring like a tremendous amount of value, like entertainment value towards like the All-Star game to begin with. You know, they actually like kind of played defense this year too. Like, you know, it's usually like 90-10 dunks and random 3-pointers to like actual playing defense, something like that. This year is closer to probably about 75-25, actually just like messing around and playing defense. So, like, you know, then they weren't getting close to like 200 points like they have in years prior.
Yeah, I was hoping for 200.
I've been hoping. They were so close to 1 year. They got to 196. I was like, you couldn't extend it like a minute longer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so yeah, they're doing a good job of like actually like providing extra entertainment value. I personally don't think the NFL like Pro Bowl is ever gonna be like super like it's gonna be really big ever again. It doesn't
even if there's like a payment at the end, like if you're
even with that because it's so pointless with especially with all the research and all the knowledge we have now about how dangerous football is. I just don't think that you're gonna get a lot of people to like tune in for, you know, a full football game and from that they're playing in Orlando, like not even like Hawaii. So you're not going to get like a lot of players. On top of that, like every year players back out. Like most of the players back out. On top of that, like
if you get like an injury near the end of the season.
On top of that, like you put it right before the Super Bowl. Usually, the two teams that are in the Super Bowl have the most amount of players in. Usually, it's not all the time, but they usually have a good amount of players that are in the Pro Bowl that obviously can't play the game. So I don't think it's ever going to be super popular. I like the way they used to do it. It was like it used to be after the season. Like it was all fun and games. It was like everybody, like a lot of people could still play. But I mean, you know, with everybody kind of talking about like how dangerous the game is and like not wanting to put your body at risk or like you can get a torn ACL from just like a random like slip on the field, you know? So people aren't going to want to risk all that, and they're not going to want to risk that money, especially money that's not often like fully coming in the way of fully guaranteed contracts. So I think that's just not going to be it's never going to be like very, very popular. It doesn't matter what they do, like the festivities beforehand, like the QB accuracy drills and, you know, the dodgeball and things like that.
The dodgeball
was pretty entertaining, but like I'm not gonna turn out reserve the rest of my night to watch dodgeball and something and everything and other things, you know. So
I always thought if they focused more on that, because I remember when like growing up when I was into it, I was like, this is kind of cool. Like, I remember the David Akers and Adam Vinatieri, like they're having they're playing horse but like kicking it.
Yeah, exactly.
They were kicking it like backwards through the uprights.
They had fun things like that.
It.
I think we brought this up in another episode. Like we were talking about how like they used to have the 40-yard dash with the fastest guys in the league, and they had like the bench press with like the most like the strongest guys in the league. And they just add more plays. Like it'd be like entertaining like that. Like people like you still get a good amount of people that would watch the games. I used to watch the games back when I was younger too, but it's just like not as necessary now, I guess.
Yeah, well,
like I said, with all the knowledge we have about like the injury history that can happen within the game, and like, you know, it's just like you're not going to get all the best players because, you know, every year there's they announce a Pro Bowl roster and half the team just like, I'm not going to that. And like they have like some random surgery at the end of the off season or like beginning of the off season, something like that. They just want to be with their families after being on the road for 16 or 17 to 18 weeks in a season.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, like I said,
I always found it funny because there was like the past couple of years, all of this hate towards the Pro Bowl just happened. And I was like, when did so many people just hate the Pro Bowl so much? Like, I never realized it was so hated.
Right.
And I get it, like if they're injured or like the concussion stuff and all that, like I get it. I just feel like then either get rid of it completely or try to change it. So like make it.
Do things to make it more exciting. You know?
I would want to see it like maybe less rules and less penalties, so you pull out like crazy formations to like mess with the other team and stuff, or just do like flag football. You don't even have a play; you just set up and go. And, you know, like that's how we played at intramural flag football. Right. It was just like we got to the line and tried to get open. Like,
and the thing is, like, these things can be exciting. I mean, I think what college football does, which is really great, is they have like the two different like all-star games for like the high school kids. They have the Under Armour All-American game, and then have the U.S. Army All-American game.
Is it one like North and South?
Yeah, one's like North and South, and the other one's East and West.
Saying that.
Usually, the Under Armour All-American game is North-South, and the Army game is East-West. But I mean, like that's exciting. Like people, like the kids, like making their collegiate decisions. Like
that's like high school when they're excited to be on ESPN.
Right? Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. They're you know, it's not often they're on nationally like they're being nationally televised. I mean, sometimes you are because, you know, I mean, sometimes they have like really big like high school programs.
Ridiculous.
Oh, well, I mean,
ESPN has nothing else to show except a high school football game.
Hey, man, if Bishop Gorman's playing St. John Bosco Prep, like that's a huge game. Or like Bishop Gorman's playing IMG Academy. Because IMG Academy is like interesting because they can like they recruit players from all over the country. Like they bring in people like there's this kid who's going into the NBA who just announced he's going into the NBA and he's never even played in college. His name's Anthony Simmons. Yes, his name's Anthony.
I always think of Scrubs when I hear Anthony.
But yeah, I mean, it's like I think like those games are fun to watch. I mean, there's not too many people watch the the McDonald's All-American game, but I mean, I just don't think high school basketball is a little bit different compared to college basketball because the recruiting time is a little bit different, and like these kids are going to be in school for 2 semesters or for a semester and a half, and and go into the NBA already, so like it's not. Like, and it's, you don't have, it's tough to get invested into like a player who's going to be at your university because he's only going to be there for a year instead of actually having to be there for 3 years and compared to like college.
Football, it's going to.
Yeah, you got that name to look forward to. You're gonna see him like when he first gets recruited, hear how he builds to the ranks and he goes to the depth chart and everything like that too. So I mean that's what I find is gonna be interesting. But I mean, I mean baseball. I don't know if baseball has that role anymore. That's why we have the Googles.
Yep, we have the technology. I thought it was maybe rumored, but I didn't think they actually did it because they still take the game pretty seriously.
Yeah.
Oh, it's in DC this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, tickets are already on sale. I'm looking for something like.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out something.
Or something. It's all these tickets because rule change. Maybe that'll be it. Oh, yeah, it started last year.
Yeah.
This article from December 27th.
December 1st, 2016?
Yeah.
Yep, I'm looking at it.
Yeah, so apparently, yeah. All right. So last year was just kind of played.
Yeah. I think it was still pretty entertaining. I usually don't really watch the MLB game because it's usually like around a weird time. Like they usually have like the SBs.
Tuesday night.
Yeah, it's like they usually have like the SBs like sometime that week too. Like
because that's the night where no sports are being played.
Right, exactly.
And especially now because I know that will be changed. They have 2 days off after the All-Star game now.
Oh, okay.
They have that Wednesday and Thursday off.
Yeah, I know. NBA has close to a week without the NBA after the All-Star break.
Yeah, I think that was maybe too high of a rule, but it's still still fun to see different players and different coaching and the pulling the relievers, and there's a little more strategy. Like baseball is a very mental game, so it's always fun to watch. And I think there needs to be something to play for besides bragging rights.
Yeah, exactly. Like bragging rights are dope, but you're not gonna
especially when the AL won 15 in a row. I think to a charity or to bonus or something. I know there's bonuses of making All-Stars, but there's been a lot of discrepancy especially in baseball because the fans vote.
Yeah,
I think they have the most amount of voting of any sport, so it's kind of the fans voted for me, but I didn't really use this extra 5 days off, so I'm not gonna go. Even though I think 1 year Derek Jeter was the most popular vote and he didn't go. And you're okay, so 8 million people just voted to see you in this game, and you're just not gonna go.
Not happening.
I feel like that's pretty disrespectful to the fans. But I think if it was something maybe hosting the opening night / day game the next year or something.
Yeah.
It's usually whoever wins the World Series or a big team anyway, but I don't know if the AL won and then the Indians or the Orioles.
Right.
I should say the Orioles.
Yeah, no, probably not with that pitcher.
Yeah. But if they they get something, I don't know how to figure it out. This is coming off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But something that you it doesn't affect a big scenario, but it's still enough to put in some effort to win,
Like I said, I don't know, because I don't know what else, what all you would do. And, again, we kind of go, talk about the voting, too. I mean, I don't know how, I know, everybody does the voting. I know, it's all, I know NBA does, based off of, fan voting and everything like that. But, and that's how it was. The NBA, they did the fan voting for, all their players and everything like that. And then the players, then obviously LeBron and Steph picked the players that the fans voted for, which I thought that was pretty interesting. Like I said, I like the idea of switching it up a little bit. So like I said, it's not. I like the idea of kind of a draft.
Yeah.
kind of a rule.
I think that works in NBA.
Yeah,
maybe even a little bit of football. Because,
I think they did a little bit ago. Like they did like the draft. It was like Michael Irvin, like versus like Deion Sanders.
Yeah, they switched back.
Yeah, exactly. And I wasn't a fan when they switched back. Yeah. Like I like the kind of idea of like drafting players and like having like these different teams, like different players that are like that. You know, it's different. You know, so.
And I think that's like basketball and football. Like growing up, you choose teams in school. You know, like that's kind of how it starts.
Yeah.
So it's kind of throwing it back to like childhood.
Right,
baseball,
you know, and then people like, I wonder who got picked last too. Like, and, you know, that's kind of the thrill of it. You know, that's why I said like the entertainment value with like the NBA draft. If they televise that, then like that would be interesting. I think just because I mean, you know, like I said, you want to see who's picked last. You want to see who's like how the team captains are like stacking their teams and things like that, and it's just like I think like I said, and I don't like it just has to make sense because like when is any kind of major league NBA, NFL, NCAA when have they ever decided? No, we don't need any more money. You know, like that's gonna be more money. Like you can put that on for an hour, and then you'll be like, "Yep, that's you can draw it on for 2 hours." For all I know, like
it's made $15 million.
Right, exactly. With all the advertisements and everything like that, you know, like they could easily that's definitely something that you can make money off of very, very easily, and people are gonna watch it because people
will watch it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we will.
I think with the voting, I think because MLB does an interesting thing where they do fan voting for everybody except pitchers, and then pitchers are determined by it's like 50-50 coaches / media.
Okay.
Vote on like the pitchers because you know who's gonna vote for like a middle reliever. You know, like so it kind of makes sense in that regard.
Yeah.
But I always think it should be 50-50 because like being on the East Coast and growing up a Phillies fan and now in the Baltimore area, it's kind of like I don't see a lot of West Coast teams. Yeah. So it's kind of hard. And the same thing goes for West Coast too because the East Coast games are being played at like 4 o'clock.
Right, exactly. So, yeah, exactly.
So it's kind of like the fans should but it also like stacks the deck because they're gonna vote for most likely their hometown team. Oh yeah. Like when I voted, I used to. I don't really do it anymore because like if you go to a baseball game in like June, All-Star ballots are everywhere. Yeah. I would vote. I'd be like, okay, like well, who do I think is like the best versus. I'm not voting for every Philly player. Yeah, and it's become tough too because it's become like it's you know when it's all player voting like a fan voting it's all like just a popularity competition. Yeah. So it's like it's not based off of like merit or whether or not like he's had a good enough season to warrant him being in this higher game or whatever. It's just become like to the point where it's like, oh yeah, well he's been in there every year for like the last 8 years, so why not keep on putting him in, you know? I think if fans should still have a vote because like gets us involved in the game. Yeah. But I think it should be 50-50, like okay, you can vote for whoever you want, and you can vote up to 20 times or whatever it is, and that's fine, but that's only going to count for half the votes. Like, then the media / coaches or other players who see these players more often and know the game a little better, right? Will put in someone who's maybe a little more deserving. Yeah, so it's not strictly just a popularity contest. Yeah. It's based off of like the merit and like what they've done and how they performed all year, and like that's why like people don't ever like take the Pro Bowl super seriously. This like, oh well, if he made first team All Pro, then that means that he's like actually like that good, you know? Yeah. And I think that's the big difference. Like people people are like, oh well, he didn't make a Pro Bowl, so he must not have had that good of a season as people thought. And then like, oh no, it's just like he just was in a small market team, like he played in Baltimore or Tennessee or something like or Jacksonville or something like that. It's a smaller market team. And things like that. So that's why, I mean, it's just different in that aspect. But like I said, I just wish that, like, the NFL would go back to, like, that draft system. Like, I think, I mean, like, because we're so accustomed to, like all drafts have become super big. The NBA draft is huge, national televised. Yeah. If the Major League Baseball draft wasn't 40 rounds long, it would be televised. Well, we talked about this in the draft episode of SportsSqwad's baby Squadcast draft. That the MLB draft, these the guys are going to be drafted and then they're going to be in the minors for like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
right?
they'll still play like college baseball somewhere or something like that.
They'll stay in college another year, or they'll get traded while in the minors. So like there's a guy who just got traded. I think he just got cut by the Phillies or traded again. He was like Houston's number 1 pick back when Houston was bad.
Oh yeah.
And he had like I think he got Tommy John. Yeah. So, but it was like his first year, so it wasn't like too bad.
Yeah.
Like, okay, like you're going to be in the minors anyway.
Right.
But then he never made it up, and then got traded to the Phillies and stayed in their system. And then I think he either just got cut or traded again. He hasn't made the majors.
Yeah.
Like that's how the MLB draft will know. They televised it on MLB Network.
Oh yeah.
It's not. ESPN.
It's not the spectacle that did like ESPN like.
Yeah, and only like the top 10 guys are there. Like,
yeah.
Like the entire first round of the NFL is there. Like,
I mean, same thing. I mean, like all the lottery picks are usually there at the NBA draft too. So
yeah, with MLB, it's like
yeah, exactly. And like I said, I mean, it's like I said, we're just so accustomed.
But it's still to your point.
Yeah, it's like we're just so accustomed to drafts that like I think that it's just natural between like us following, especially with the NFL, like us following the NFL draft. Us drafting players for fantasy football, like it's just like to me, it just makes sense. Like it's just like they would go hand in hand together. It's like that way you can build a fantasy football team, like a fantasy team through the AFC and the NFC all in one team. And I think that's kind of unique because you don't often see those teams like those players together on the same setting in the same field or anything like that. So
it's do you think that could be applied to all sports? Like if every sport just does a draft for the All-Star game, like even MLB MLB has an AL versus NL.
Yeah, exactly. I think with the NL, with baseball, it'd be a little bit more difficult just because of AL versus NL and like the pitchers and everything like that. Because like the two leagues are actually legitimately pretty different.
Yeah. With the DH
and the pitcher and everything like that. So
yeah,
I think that's it's good where it is, unless you want to do like a complete role reversal, and then you'll do like an MLB game, like an MLB All-Star game, where like the NL plays like by NL, like AL plays by NL rules, and vice versa. I think that I'm just spitballing here, but I think that could be kind of interesting. I guess have like a DH, and like who comes in and plays for the NL, and then like an AL pitcher, CC Sabathia come in or something like that. CC Sabathia hasn't really made any All-Star games recently, but
I'm still mad. Like back when he was on the Brewers, way back.
Wow, it's a long time ago.
Yeah, he was playing the Pirates, and I was at that game. We took a road trip, like family vacation.
Yeah,
and I got ice cream, and I checked the scoreboard when I got ice cream. It was the 7th inning. I was like, Pirates don't have any hits yet.
Yeah,
and I said that in my head because, one, I went to get ice cream by myself. Two, I'm not talking to anyone. I'm 14 at the time.
Right.
Yeah, I checked the scoreboard, and then it was a play where he caught it with one hand, where he picked it up with one hand and threw it, and they called it a hit instead of an error. And people were so mad.
Yeah,
it was like, well, you could have easily called that an error.
Yeah,
and I was also mad at him for just not fielding the ball.
Right.
If he picked it up and threw it instead of trying to get fancy with it, you could have a no hitter. So I'm still mad at that for not seeing a no hitter in person. Yeah, I think it would be funny to switch rules or to have just a special goof rule.
Yeah,
just trade someone in the middle of the game.
You're
playing on the NL now.
Yeah. Play Mario Baseball basically.
Play Wii Baseball.
Yeah.
I'm gonna implement me and my brother's wiffle ball rules because our backyard isn't. It has enough space, but it's not huge.
Yeah.
So me and my brother used to play if we hit it on the ground and we didn't field it. This is all without us fielding it.
Mm-hmm.
If we hit it on the ground and it didn't make our fence, it was a single. If it bounced and hit the fence, it was a double. If you hit the fence in the air, it was a triple. And if you hit it over the fence, it was a home run.
Yeah.
And we just did if you hit a triple, then the Ghostman would advance 3 bases, because it was just me and my brother. We didn't have anyone actually running the bases.
Yeah.
And then we also had if you fielded it and the ball was still moving, it was an out. Or if you caught it in the air, it was obviously an out. But we also had our rule. This is a Kinsella wiffle ball rule. If the ball hit the trees and you caught it in the air, it was 2 outs. And then we also, you know how you set up the plastic chair in wiffle ball as the strike zone?
Yeah.
If you caught it like on the ground and then you threw it and you hit the chair above the legs, then it was a double play. we had all these rules down. I think that's what they should do. It's too late to implement this year. 2019 MLB All-Star Game should be played with a plastic chair at home plate.
And Ghostmen.
Yeah.
Gotta put a tree in the middle of the field too. But I mean, like I said, it's like because I'm usually not big for like all-star games to like personally. Because if you have fun festivities, like I'll even watch like the home run derby.
Home run derby is awesome.
Because like that's a good time.
Especially when like Josh Hamilton goes off, or like Todd Frazier a couple years ago hit it. He won it on the last ball, you know.
And like even like last year with Judge. I mean Judge coming in there and like blowing it up last year.
Part of me is with Judge. Like part of me is like awesome. Like if him or Stan hit 60 home runs in a season, like it's gonna be awesome.
Oh my god.
But part of me is just like, let's give Judge one more year.
Right, exactly. Because I mean, especially with how much he struggled at the end of last season. Like after the All-Star break, he was not good. At all.
And that's what does it. Too. Yeah. Like you get that break, and not even if you're in the home run derby.
Because people were talking about him as being like an MVP. Before the All-Star break, and then he just fell out. Like he had like a streak of like a certain amount of games where he struck out or something like that. It was like 19 or something like that. Yeah. It might have been higher than that, but.
And then he set the record for like most amount of strikeouts in the postseason or something.
He was pretty brutal like the last half half of that season.
So that's why I'm just okay.
So it's like you kind of want to like hold like take a step, like even if you find a way to like do something like fastest pitch or something like that. I'm sure like Aroldis Chapman will win every year.
Aroldis Chapman is the Char of MLB. You know, like I don't know about that though, because that kind of coincides with like elbow issues. Like, you don't want to unless you do like an outfielder fastest throw, like and you're just playing it. Like,
like farthest throw or something.
I don't know if I would do that as a pitcher, but if I'm an outfielder and I do that like every once in a while, I think that'd be fun. Yeah. I think skills competition would be interesting.
I think like more of them. I just don't know what you do. Like I mean,
fastest stolen base or something.
Yeah.
Or like fastest around, get Jose Altuve to circle the bases in like 20 seconds.
His little feet just pitter pattering.
Hey man, he hits like 350.
I know he does, and he smacks him out the park too. Like.
Yeah. It reminds me of like when Dustin Pedroia was in his prime.
Oh yeah.
I mean he's still playing, but
who's up there now? You have the dude from Minnesota, Buxton.
Oh yeah, Byron Buxton. Yeah.
Who else? What's his name? The guy who played for the Marlins. He got traded to the Mariners this year. Yeah, he got busted for PEDs a couple years back. D. Gordon.
Yeah.
D. Gordon. That's who it is.
That dude's fast.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Billy Hamilton.
Yeah, like you throw Mike Trout in there too. Like
Mike Trout gets like. He's good at everything, and people don't realize how good he is at everything. Like he'll steal 30 bases,
right?
And nobody will bat an eye.
Yeah, because it's just because he's not just Trout.
Yeah. Anyway, but I think that'd be interesting doing that skills competition. Because I think with the NBA, I think the skills competition is a really fun night. Yeah. But I feel like with the dunk contest, it's lost its luster. So many dunks.
I mean, we've been doing it's been going on for like a long time. Like Larry Nance Sr. won the first dunk competition like a long time ago, and his son, who's been in the league for a few years now, is doing it. Like who was in it this year. Like they said, there's only so much you can do. Like I mean, they're trying to do too much now too, with like too much props and everything like that. One guy had a drone that he brought out last year. Aaron Gordon had a drone that he brought out last year. It was like different jerseys.
That's been 2 years ago. I watched it at our former place of employment.
Yeah, that was a really good one. That was probably the best one since the Dominique Wilkins Michael Jordan one.
I remember having I still had 2 tables. We were all watching at the bar. Like, crap, I have people to see.
But everybody else was watching it too. So nobody needed anything because everybody was watching the same thing.
I would just point to him across the restaurant, just But yeah, that's the thing. I think we just ran out of dunks. Honestly, I don't think it's a matter of how many different dunks can you do.
Yeah, exactly.
And until we start doing crazy stuff.
I mean, that's why I thought Zach LaVine was so good, because he was doing stuff that was really good dunks that were just pretty unique. Like he dunked from the free throw line. He did a windmill dunk from the free throw line. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's kind of this is a crazy analogy here, but it's It's kind of like the backflip in motocross and X Games. Like,
yeah.
When the first guy did it, we were like, holy crap. And then afterwards, everybody learned how to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh, okay. And then Travis Pastrana had to do 2 of them to make it good again.
Yeah, I mean, same thing with Sean White. I mean, like when he first did the double McTwist 1260, he was like the only one that was doing it. There's oh well, there he's got to lay down this double McTwist 1260 in his second jump, like everybody's doing it. So now you just have to one up yourself.
Yeah. But with dunking, once you dunk, you can only spin your body so many times in the air. We don't have. It's just not possible, and I think that's the thing. It's we need to either
because now a lot of people doing 720s in the air.
It's just attempt to do a 540. Just jump and spin 1.5 times in the air. That's hard enough.
Yeah,
because gravity exists.
Right. But to do it,
with a basketball
and and have enough wherewithal to find yourself and and not be dizzy while in midair. Here's a hoop. Let me put it in now.
Yeah. Well, just thinking, it'd be kind of funny if they got the Globetrotters involved. Somehow.
Oh yeah.
Somehow, I don't know how. Maybe put them against one of the teams,
Yeah.
And play Globetrotter rules and NBA rules and see what happens.
Oh, the Globetrotters will lose every single game. They're playing the Washington Generals every single year.
It's the All-Star game. It's fun. I think that's another thing too. People hate on the All-Star game.
It's supposed to be fun.
If you don't like it, then don't watch it.
Right.
Don't
complain about it. Yeah. Because nobody likes one of those people. Just it's oh yeah, I don't like this. I'm gonna hate watching now. Just don't watch it. Don't waste your. You're just wasting your time.
Yeah. Let the people who like it enjoy it, and then if you don't,
there's 1,000 freaking channels, and you have Netflix and Hulu. You can find something to watch.
Yeah.
I can assure you of that.
Man, play Overwatch.
Yeah. You do that tonight.
It's been acting up on this Xbox, but
Fortnite. Everybody's playing Fortnite.
I played 1 round of PUBG.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, nope.
And that's basically Fortnite ripped everything.
Fortnite's like a
PUBG.
It's like PUBG on LSD.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, I've never played.
It's tough.
Fortnite.
It's not easy.
Yeah. Well, PUBG was hard enough.
Yeah.
I played 2 rounds of PUBG. Because I was just I want to see what all the hype is about.
Yeah.
I've seen people play it. I was like, okay. And then it's you start with literally nothing.
Yeah, exactly. And everybody can find everything super fast and shoot me up real quick. And I'm like, yep, I got my pickaxe here. Just shoot me up with an assault rifle, but I got my pickaxe.
I got an assault rifle, man. I was just driving everywhere. I found the car. I was like, I'm just going to drive. I don't know where I'm going to go. I don't know where anybody is because there's 100 of us at this map, but...
people dying, I haven't even landed yet. How is there only how 12 people died already?
Yeah.
Sidetrack.
Nah, that's what SportsSqwad is all about. Sidetrack tangents. I like what the NHL has done now. We haven't really touched on the NHL a lot. They've kept their skills competition. Well, they brought back the skills competition.
Yeah, fastest shot too.
Because it was the Olympics and then there was a strike. So they didn't have the skills competition for 3 years. Mm-hmm. But yeah, fastest shot, and they had the fastest. They had the goalie skates, the fastest goalie, and they each have to do 2 laps or whatever it is. They have the relay where you have Patrick Kane doing his dangles, and then Claude Giroux
yeah.
And then you have people hitting it into that inch net, flicking it over the hurdles and trying to get it in, And that's really fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool live too. I was lucky enough to see it live.
Okay, it is pretty. I mean, I like what they've done with it as well.
Yeah,
separating it per division, I guess, isn't it?
It's per division because they did the division realignment, so now they have 4 divisions.
Yeah, and they do a little tournament type thing, and I like that. It's
it's
3-on-3.
Yeah, it's 3-on-3 rules. And it's 2 games. So whoever, I forget how they determine it, but the past years it's you determine if you want to play the second game, which means you play in the final right away, or if you want that time off. I forget how. I think it's the home team captain decides. I think I don't know. So that was. I think it's cool because it's it's a mini tournament and you do divisions instead of conferences,
Yeah.
So you and you get a black guy to win MVP.
Simmons.
Yeah. Boy, Wayne Simmons. Wayne Train. who are also that's a tight NHL race right now.
Oh,
by the time this gets released,
between the Capitals, the Flyers,
and the Penguins,
and the
Flyers are playing the Rangers tonight, so that's always a tight game.
I just don't want the Capitals to be in first place because they're always in first place. They always lose in the second round to the Penguins. Maybe if it's maybe it's different this year for not in the first place.
So around, not this time last year, well, it was around this time last year. It was the first round of the NHL playoffs last year. I got invited to do an open mic by our former manager. And it was at this fairly nice bar, but the Caps were playing a playoff game, so of course nobody's going to watch open mic comedy, especially when the stage was like in the corner. Like, it was literally in the... I walked in, I was like, where's the stage? And then I like looked, I was like, oh, there it is, in the corner, away from everyone else. Like, but our former manager was hosting it, and he gets on, and he did like 10 minutes at the beginning, and then like handed it over like for the rest of the night. Mm-hmm. And he did 10 minutes. He's like, he made a joke. He thought the Caps would be out because it was like Game 6.
Yeah.
He's like, I thought the Caps would have lost the series by now. And then he's like, every year they lose in the first round, and they either lose to the Flyers, or the Penguins, or the Rangers. And I'm like, who else are they gonna play? You just made half the division.
Yeah, of course you're gonna lose one of those teams. Sorry they play these teams every year that they're in the playoffs.
It's the same three teams. Sorry. But that's kind of cool. I think that'd be cool. Like the NFL could possibly implement that, not tournament style, obviously, but if they did like a 15-minute half tournament type thing, and you just combine the AFC and NFC to divisions. So like AFC East and West plays like the NFC North and North. Whereas
it's like kind of like
AFC and NFC East.
Yeah,
one team.
Like it's kind of like what you do when you play like street football, like street football too. Is like you have your own created team. Like you play each division first. Like I like that. Like
street.
But like that. But then again, like that'd be like too many games too. Unless they did
that's
like
what I'm saying. Like,
unless they did like a flag football 7-on-7 type thing.
Something like that. Yeah, but I mean, like that's what I'm saying. Combine the conferences, so it's only a total of 3 games.
Yeah,
it would be East and West versus North and South.
And whoever
wins plays each other. It's not that long, but I think it's just trying to change it up a little bit because I think the NFL is the most hated All-Star game. But
I would
by
agree.
far. NBA, I think, would be second, but I think it's not that hated.
Yeah, I think it's made a good amount of strides.
Yeah, like they've changed it and they're working on making it better.
Right, exactly. NHL, I think that, I mean, the commissioner, I just think that the commissioner overall in the NBA is just so much better. He works with the players a lot more.
Adam Silver?
Adam Silver, yeah. I think he works with players a lot more than what Goodell does. Yeah. And, I just think he's in tune, and he definitely wants to put the best product out there, and it's as simple as that. He wants the best product to be out there, and he knows that consulting with the players is gonna be how you do it. And it also doesn't hurt that they keep on getting these massive TV contracts from ESPN and TNT.
Yeah. Oh man, jeez, contracts. Yeah.
And it keeps on upping the salary cap even higher every single year. And I was like, people I was getting in an argument with my boss the other day. Yesterday, and I was like, of course, the NBA is gonna the NBA and the NFL has the same salary cap. It's just the NBA only has to pay 15 players, and the NFL has to pay 53 players. Yeah. And he's like, oh yeah, that's why you should play baseball. Is because for whatever reason they get the most money. I'm like, it's because they don't have a salary cap. Are you dumb?
Yeah, there's no salary cap.
Of course they're getting all this money. This is not a salary cap. They don't have to worry about. The Yankees could just spend $1 trillion on Judge and Giancarlo Stanton and be like, oh, yep, as we had that money, so that's why we decided we wanted to do it.
I saw this thing on today from Crossing Broad.
Of course.
Yeah. Obviously, the Phillies aren't going to play there's 3 games in April, which is 2 weeks from now at time of recording. That 3 of those games aren't going to be on TV. Wow. 2 of them are going to be Facebook, and one of them is going to be the NBC app. Okay. Stream it. They won't air it on NBC, which I'm like, if it's on the NBC app, why isn't it on NBC Sports?
Yeah, right.
because they just got a new deal like 2 or 3 years ago with the Phillies, so they play a certain amount of games on NBC Sports now. So I was like, but if it's on the app, like, why aren't you?
Yeah.
I found that weird. I was like, I guess I get to watch 2 Phillies games this year on Facebook, like, and if they play the Orioles, I get to watch the Nationals games.
Yeah, that's true.
I gotta listen to the Nationals announcers.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
Price
Where's Hoskins' big year this year?
I'm hoping the Phillies are like somehow like the first wild card team.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're making moves with Arrieta now too.
They got Arrieta. They got J.P. Crawford. I think is going to come up. They got that Scott Kingery.
Okay.
He's a third base prospect, but they have Franco.
Yeah.
Franco's been hitting like 230 the past 3 years, so they're like, if you're not gonna do anything now, like,
yeah, we might wouldn't.
He hit like 30 home runs 1 year, and they're like, oh, okay, maybe he's our next like third baseman.
Yeah, and then 230. Next couple.
Well, he can't adjust. Is his huge problem.
Yeah.
He can't adjust his hitting. Like they're saying, like if it's off speed or inside, he doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they got Crawford and Rhys Hoskins and Odubel.
Yeah, they're on the right path. I mean, you figure. I mean, because who they have? What, the Braves in that division?
Yeah,
the Braves. Yeah, Braves are the Braves.
Yeah, they fell off.
With the Marlins are just having a fire sale.
Don't have Stanton anymore. So
yeah.
What are they gonna do?
And most of the rest of their roster with D. Gordon and
D. Gordon.
Christian Yelich.
Yeah, Christian Yelich got traded too. Who I didn't know until the World Baseball Classic.
Ozuna too. Marcell Ozuna's gone.
Oh yeah. Who is on the Marlins this year?
I have nobody. Nobody is, Tim.
Holy crap.
I mean, the Mets are the Mets too. So
the Mets are like Mets are weird because it can be good.
Yeah.
But Noah Syndergaard wants to throw 100 every single pitch, and obviously that's going to injure him.
It's going to injure him.
And Matt Harvey, who like hates playing for the Mets, apparently.
Yeah.
Him and his agent. I think his agent Scott Boras, though. So it's like.
Yeah. And then who else? What? The Syndergaard?
Well, Syndergaard was the one I just said.
Oh, DeGrom. Jacob DeGrom. Yeah.
He was injured last year. So, like, yes, that's a good starting rotation, but, like, when one is, like, hated and criticizes the team,
right?
The other is injured, and the other wants to throw 100.
And will get injured for throwing 100, you know?
Like, I'm all for it if you can hit 100 as a starting pitcher.
Yeah.
Just don't hit 100 every single pitch.
Yeah.
Like, plus that one. That's what they said when Verlander had his MVP year.
Mm-hmm.
He was able to throw 100, like, later into the game because he didn't.
Yeah.
He started at, like, 95 or 93. Like, but, yeah, that's why I don't want to do fastest pitches.
Makes
Bring
sense.
it back to All-Star.
Making sense. Okay, full circle there.
Yeah.
Proud of us.
Yeah. So, we're at 47 minutes.
Yeah. We can keep on talking about baseball.
Yeah, since opening days in a week already.
Yeah, right.
Like, holy.
But who else in the NL would like contend for who you think would be good enough to like contend for like the other wild card? Because I think the Phillies could like have a legitimate shot at it.
I think they could,
especially with how weak the West of that.
I'm just concerned about the NL Central and possibly the NL West.
NL West is
Giants, Dodgers, Diamondbacks.
Yeah,
yeah.
2 of those teams made it to the playoffs last year. So, and then the Giants will. I mean,
so
the Giants fell off last year.
Just a small factoid about the Giants: Taylor Swift released a new album.
Oh, so that means they're gonna win it this year. All right, I know. I know where I'm placing my bet in Vegas.
When you look at the evidence, yes. People used to say every even year was the Giants' year.
No,
but then in 2016, Taylor Swift was like, "Nope, not going to release an album." And they didn't win that year, and then she released one this year.
I think the logic applies. I think that makes the most sense. So yeah, I just need to know how much I'm putting down on my bet in Vegas, because the odds are gonna be terrible since they were like bad last year.
I don't know how they were bad last year either. Like, they have a good team.
Yeah,
they just were bad. But they got, what's his name?
Did they get Sandoval back?
They might have gotten it. They signed, they got McCutchen.
Oh, they did get McCutchen.
Yeah, so McCutchen and...
He's kind of up there.
He's kind of old, but he's still pretty good.
Yeah.
Like,
he's not the player that he was.
You have Hunter Pence and Andrew McCutchen in the same outfield.
Yeah.
And then you have, what's his name? Jeff, oh crap, the Shark dude. He was on the Cubs. Smarja.
Oh, okay, yeah. Long hair. He actually used to play football, didn't he? He used to play football at Notre Dame.
Yeah. He was, like, really good, too.
Yeah.
Whatever the All-Star is. College. All-American?
All-American, yeah.
Yeah, he was All-American.
So
I think he was a wide receiver, if I remember correctly.
The Central, you still have what? The Cardinals, Cubs, still pretty good.
Pirates,
Yeah.
although without McCutcheon, they kind of fell off last year, so we'll see.
I mean, they have a decent rotation, I guess, too. It's still what is Garrett Cole still there?
No, I think he's on the Braves, or maybe the Yankees.
That's scary if he's on the Yankees.
So,
I think this is an up year for Philadelphia sports.
I think you got to capitalize when other teams go down.
Yeah. I mean, it's not. I mean,
if the Mets are still a mess, which they usually are, the Braves are still the Braves, which they are. Nationals are they're
good in the regular season. Yeah, they're just
they're
like
out in the first
they're just like the Capitals.
Yeah. Something about DC, man.
Yeah, it really is something about DC.
It
really is.
Who was the last DC team to make a run?
Probably the Washington football franchise. Back with Doug Collins at quarterback.
I mean,
there's like no luck.
I was trying to think if the Wizards made it to the second and third round as of late, but I don't think they made it that far. Maybe the second round.
Definitely the second round because they lost to the Celtics last year in the second round. In a 7-game series. I'm pretty sure it was 7 games.
No, it was 7 games.
I might be wrong about that, but I know it went back and forth. But yeah, no, they just don't. DC sports are just cursed. They really are.
I remember, what's his name? Ryan Russillo said something really funny on Twitter when the Nationals made it to the playoffs. They're like, it was like their third or fourth year back. And they're like, this is the first time in 70 years DC's been to the playoffs. He's like, that's like saying you haven't been on a date in 30 years when you've been in jail. They weren't here.
They're in Montreal.
Yeah. Stop making it more than it is, media. Yeah.
But I mean,
I think the Phillies can make a push.
It wouldn't surprise me. It really wouldn't. Don't they? They have a new manager this year too, right?
Yeah, Gabe Kapler, who is jacked.
Really?
Yeah, he did his an interview with MLB Network in a long sleeve Under Armour type thing. Oh man, he is jacked. He's like 42 or something.
Okay,
he's
so he's still a young guy then.
He's super into like stats.
Yeah.
But he's also into super into nutrition too.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
but I don't think he's trying to. I think that was a big thing. He's not implementing it with the players. He's letting them still. Be that if it's working for them, it's working for them. He's not going to be like, this is the diet that I'm doing. This is what everybody should do.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if they were able to make a push towards the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I think they'll make a push. I think it'll be a fun year to watch.
I think the AL is still going to be super strong, though. You still have the
AL East, who's going to be crazy.
Yeah, between the Red Sox and the Yankees alone, I mean.
And the Orioles are always there.
Always there. They're not.
The Rays can somehow be in the playoff round.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're in second in the division.
Yeah.
It's
always a pretty tight division.
Yeah.
I don't know what the Blue Jays are doing though.
I mean, Blue Jays traded Donaldson.
Oh really? Who did he go to?
I think they traded Donaldson, or they didn't re-sign him, or something.
I think you're right. I think he's somewhere else now.
Yeah, because he was the lifeline of that team.
Yeah, Joey Bats.
Yeah, well, it says maybe it's Joey Bats left too, because he was old.
Yeah, he was old.
He's 37. He got.
I think they re-signed him last year.
Yeah.
Because he was a free agent, and I remember all the Orioles fans were pissed off at Duquette. I mean, they're always pissed off at Duquette because he's terrible.
Yeah.
Because he was like, "Oh, we're not going to sign him because we don't our fans aren't we don't like our fans aren't a fan of him." I'm sure we'll be a fan of him if he starts smacking home runs in an Oriole uniform.
Said Josh Donaldson still on the Blue Jays. I don't know. I thought he left.
I mean, obviously, you said the Astros didn't lose a step, and they picked.
Astros are gonna be good forever.
Yeah, right. They're just so young.
When Altuve is their seasoned vet, and he's 28 years old.
They said we got Spring. You saw Spring over there too. Carlos Correa.
They got Verlander.
Saw Verlander over there still. Yeah. Dallas Keuchel.
Yeah. Dude, Dallas Keuchel's beard.
Yeah. They're it's just such a. They're good. They're good for a long time.
Yeah.
I think the Rangers can be good sometimes.
The Astros are. That's such a typical how to build a team.
It really is.
that's what you show on paper. Like, like the Sixers are getting credit now because they're the 4 seed right now somehow.
It's the Eastern Conference. That's why I said I wouldn't be surprised if they had a home playoff series because I'm like, it's the Eastern Conference. I'm like, you have the top 3 teams, and then you have like everybody else is kind of a crapshoot. Like,
so like people are like, well, that's how you do it. Like, wait, but like the Astros, like you draft well and you trade when needed. And you don't. It's just crazy how well they made their team, and they got Verlander in an August trade. Yeah, like which was like a waiver thing.
Yeah, which I mean, he helped him win.
Basically.
Like, that's huge. Like, I mean, like they're gonna be good for a long time. They're gonna be scary for a long time.
Well, that's what I like about baseball, though, is that like they can be like the Braves won back in the 90s. They won like 15 straight NL East divisions. Yeah, won World Series. Like, yes, the Yankees are an anomaly because they won like 4 and 6 years or whatever.
It's kind of how I feel like the Dodgers have been recently. Like the Dodgers have been like destroying the NL West. Yeah. But then I mean, they made it to the World Series this year.
Game 7 of the World Series.
Yeah. And they were up 3-1 in that series too, weren't they? No, they weren't.
No, I think the Astros might have been up there. I don't know. I just remember at one point it was Game 6. Yeah. And everybody was like, "Oh, they're gonna win." Yeah. It was Halloween. Like, I went to Wits End. And Wits End had its own show going on. It wasn't like an open mic because it was like the 5th Tuesday.
Okay.
An extra day. So they had their own show. So just left. But anyway, I think when the games went to extra innings, maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, I think game 1 or 2.
Who else do you have in the AL that you think could contend for anything? I mean, I think the AL East is going to be tough between the Indians are good.
Yeah, Indians are good.
So they're pitching with Corey Kluber.
Corey Kluber.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if there's like an extra L in there, like Klubler, but no, that doesn't sound right. It's Kluber.
Yeah. I know, he's like sneaky good too. Like, he won the Cy Young 2 years ago. But last year he started 0-3, and everybody was like, "Oh, he's done." And then just went on a tear.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, baseball's such a long season though.
Yeah, they have a few like Trevor
Cahill.
Yeah,
Trevor Cahill.
No, I don't think so.
No, I think he's on the A's.
But yeah, I mean, they got a good roster. I mean, I think the AL is good. It's set up in a better position overall depth wise compared to the NL personally. And I don't know a lot about baseball. I could be talking completely out of my ass.
Lots of NL just destroy the AL and everything.
Yeah, of course. Just sweep all the way through the World Series.
They play in the World Series, and they win the All-Star game 17-0.
Yeah, that's how it's gonna end up.
Yeah. But yeah, it'll definitely be an interesting year. But at least I'm excited for women's baseball.
I think the Astros being good is like a really good thing. It's a good thing for baseball because not only are they good, but they also have like talent that you can recognize nationally as well too. And that's not a lot of things that you can say about most of the teams. Like a lot like the Major League Baseball to begin with. It's the fact that it's not as big nationally. And that's where my argument came in with my manager the other day, because he was talking about how he didn't want stars, he didn't want to follow stars and everything like that. I'm like, in the NBA, I'm like, that's why you watch basketball. That's why you watch the NBA, is because the star power that the teams it's like I don't like watching LeBron and Steph Curry. I'm like, why? You're just dumb if you don't like that, because that's where the entertainment value is. I'm like, that's why baseball is struggling as much as they are. Compared to the other two sports, just baseball and football, because there's not as big as a national power. It's big locally, especially with their cities. It's big
the smaller cities, Kansas City.
Yeah, 2 years ago. Exactly. They're big, but there's not a big national brand. There's not you're not really there's not as many people that are sitting up watching Monday Night Baseball compared to people watching the Sunday night or Saturday night NBA game. Because it's not as big nationally. It's that's why. Why do they still get paid so much? Because they don't have cash. That's where the argument. I was trying to figure out why the argument started. I don't know. I was trying to figure out why the argument started, but
well, I think the closest thing you have is Mike Trout is.
Yeah, exactly.
Derek Jeter was.
Yeah.
And I think it still is. Yeah. Mike Trout.
Even though he's not really, there's not a lot of fans of his down in Miami right now. The ownership team.
Yeah, because they just sold everyone.
Yeah, literally old. We were just going over all the people they sold.
Yeah. That stadium's weird though. I saw that stadium as one of our like vacations. And they tried to make it yay Miami, like, and Miami Heritage and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And they tried to make it like a venue versus a ballpark, which you kind of can't do in baseball. Like their tradition is so deep in baseball, like you try to make it new and modern, it just won't work. Like, and that's the thing.
Yeah, like with baseball being the most traditional sport.
Yeah,
I mean,
and you can't make it something it's not. Like I get Miami's a huge party city.
Yeah,
and I'm still mad that we went like 3 weeks before I turned 21.
That sucks.
Yeah. 2 different times it happened to me. We took a cruise when I was 17, and it was like international water, so like 18 you could drink.
Yeah.
Right? Because we went to Bermuda.
Okay.
Or the Bahamas, one of them. I think it was the Bahamas. Anyway, wherever we went, it was international, so the cruise ship was like, hey, like 18 you can drink.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm only 17, and I'll be 17 for like 2 more months. Like, so I couldn't even play I'll be 17 in like a week. Like, still snuck into the comedy club. And then the trip when I was only 20, and I was like, man, I wish I was 21.
Right.
It's like my brothers are going everywhere. Like, why can't I go places? Why do I got be stuck with the parents?
Right.
Yeah, I can't do anything when my dad goes to bed at 9 p.m. Like, anyway, enough venting about family vacation. Well, we hit an hour. We made it. We stretched it out, milked it for all it's worth. So that was All-Star Games / baseball, apparently. Mostly All-Star Games.
Yeah.
Trying to make the endings more consistent, I ended one where I asked Kelvin for cinnamon butter, and that was literally the end of the podcast. So I was editing it, and I was like, wait, that's it?
Oh, man.
So trying to make it more consistent in the ending, so you guys know when it's over. All 3 of you.
We got up to 15.
Yeah, we have gotten
double digits.
I think we hit 25 in one video. So all 25 of you. So comment, like, say what you think about All Stars. What can be changed? Should they change it? Should they just get rid of it?
Yeah.
Opinions. Discuss. See. Share stuff. Yeah. Alright, so it's been me and Kelvin. And Squad out, if I can find the mouse.
So much for ending consistent.